If you're an entrepreneur, there's really only one course that you really need, and it is this one. And I promise I'm not exaggerating. I got my MBA. I've taken every single course under the sun when it comes to entrepreneurship. I've attended so many networking events. I've watched 10,000 videos, but nothing has really helped me truly understand how to succeed in the startup world until this course. The truth is, the startup world is incredibly grueling, and ISIS highlights a harsh reality right out of the gate and the main pain point that she aims to tackle, which is that 95% of early stage startups fail due to many different reasons, but she doesn't tackle it from like a dry, traditional business standpoint. She takes a very holistic, manifestation driven approach. She tackles it from the founder standpoint, how we as founders direct our energy, our attention, and crucially, how we manage our own nervous systems. Because being a founder is the most exhausting yet rewarding professions that you can pursue. And I'm sure that all of us as founders feel this call to solve a problem. And that's kind of just manifestation in practice, but in public. And that's her main kind of standpoint here. She talks about something called the danger gap, that brutal wall between survival and sustainability that most founders don't cross, which is why there's such a large failure rate in terms of early stage startups. But what blew my mind truly is how she reframes that kind of burnout. She claims and states that burnout isn't a personal failure, which is what most of us feel whenever something doesn't work out, but more so a structural risk of entrepreneurship when we get constantly overextended and overloaded with all the responsibilities that come with a founder. I mean, we are accountants, we're finance people, we're asking for money from investors, we're doing marketing, we're doing everything, and simply there's just not enough time in the day to do it all. So inevitably, we will burn out if we don't have the proper systems in place, the proper nervous system regulations in place, and ISIS tackles all of these things in this course, and simply I have not found that in any other course or even in the course of my MBA. So instead of glorifying the hustle, ISIS teaches that speed without sustainability is not power, it is self-destruction. She introduces this idea of minimalism that I have taken into heart so much after taking the course, and it is so simple, but it's just the idea that sometimes we as founders, we like to overcomplicate things because sometimes overcomplicating things is easier than making things simple. However, minimalism is simply the key to scale, and she really emphasizes that throughout the course, and that's just one key point that I really loved. And in order to cross that gap, she emphasizes that it's not about hustling harder. Instead, ISIS helps you set up the actual systems in place to navigate these challenges. Her core rule is fancy fails, simple scales, which is something I've honestly adopted in my life and has helped me tremendously. She teaches minimalism not as a design trend, but as a strategy to build systems strong enough to hold massive growth without collapsing under complexity. She gives you the blueprint to install a lean operating system for both your business and your mind, which is very important. You learn to set up systems, internal systems that regulate your nervous system, allowing you to make razor-sharp decisions under pressure, which is our main value proposition as founders, is the ability to make fast decisions. Then you pair that with external frameworks like clean financial systems that turn money from stressor into emotional safety. Together, these systems turn down the chaos and turn up your capacity to expand. TLDR, entrepreneurship is taking an invisible idea and turning it into a physical reality. But don't get it twisted. I know manifestation for some people may seem super woo-woo, super magic, whatever. It's not that. Isis, she is a brilliant neuroscientist. She's studied neuroscience, but she's also such a successful entrepreneur. So she understands the intersection of both of these fields, and she integrates this kind of mystical concept with the actual material to back it up. So you really learn throughout the course how to regulate your nervous systems so you can make cleaner, faster, micro decisions, which is the point of power for us under intense pressure. And then lastly, she brings you back down to earth with the gritty mechanics of survival. She breaks down, of course, the money flow, which is so important in terms of building a business and how it can stay sustainable without running out of money. And she also implements other super important business aspects, such as just basic business systems, checklists, and also how to find proper product market fit. But in order to be able to tackle those problems head on, tackling those many issues of how to regulate your nervous system, how to make clear decisions, that is what really drives the success of these also pain points. All in all, this course really taught me that entrepreneurship is the ultimate form of manifestation. And yes, at first I didn't believe it, but now I really do. And it's basically just taking an invisible idea that we have in our head that we're so passionate about and putting it into reality. Like, that's basically manifestation, right? So if you're tired of building your dream through depletion, you need this. You aren't just learning how to run a company, you are learning to become the kind of person whose energy and mind are stable enough to actually hold and sustain the life that you're building. I really cannot recommend it enough. This course has really changed so many ways about how I think and how I go about my day, and I cannot wait for my business to be successful, hopefully very soon. Thank you.